Let's do day 12 agriculture and rural economy. First, quick connect to previous days. Day 2 पर हमने देखा था food is inelastic demand. Okay, and day 4 पर food inflation RBI can't fix because it's a supply side problem. And day 8 was green revolution, changed everything. Day 11 पर हमने देखा था 45% of Indians in agriculture, only 15% GDP. Today we go deep into why that gap exists and what it means. Okay. Part 1, agriculture's role in India. The paradox in numbers. 45% of workforce in agriculture and 15% of GDP. Agriculture's contribution. So meaning average farmer produces far less value than average IT worker or banker. Same hours worked, fraction of income. This gap is India's core development challenge. Why this gap exists? Farmer produces wheat that's on fixed prices. IT worker produces software, unlimited scalability. Why unlimited scalability? One monsoon failure, farmer loses everything. IT worker's product doesn't spoil or flood. Oh, but not unlimited scalability. Unlimited तो नहीं होगा. Anyways, part 2, structure of Indian agriculture, key features. Land holding size problem. Average Indian farm is 1.08 hectares, about 1.5 football fields. I don't know what a one football field looks like. तो मतलब मैं तो कंपैरिजन करने के लिए एग्जांपल भी यूज़ नहीं कर सकती. Too small for mechanization, tractor can't operate efficiently. अच्छा, but football fields are large. Economies of scale, bulk selling power, taking risk on new crops. Too small for economies of scale, too small for bulk selling power, and too small for taking risks on new crop. Okay, so why so small? Hindu succession law. Land divided equally amongst sons every generation. Is it like law and enforcement? Like the sons are getting the land. What about the daughters? I don't care about the land actually. I don't care about the property. I care about the equality. Hindu succession law. So 5-acre farm, 3 sons, so 1.67 acres each. Their sons, 0.55 acres, fragmentation across generations, unviable farms, rain dependency. तो इतने बच्चे, why are they even doing it? I'm sorry. Rain dependency, only 52% of agricultural land is irrigated. Oh. 48% depends entirely on monsoon. That's shit. That's BS. Bad monsoon, crop failure, farmer in debt, distress. This is structural vulnerability RBI cannot fix. India has 4% of world's fresh waters, but wastes 80% through flood irrigation. Oh my god, really? मतलब हमारा 4% फ्रेश वाटर, जितना भी हमारे पास फ्रेश वाटर है उसका 80% वी आर वेस्टिंग इन फ्लड इरीगेशन. ड्रिप इरीगेशन used on only 5% of farmland. Israel irrigates deserts. India floods fields wastefully. That's like such a shame, honestly. Part 3, the farm income crisis. Why farmers are poor despite working hard. Problem 1 is price volatility, whatever. Farmer grows onions, Good harvest, too many onions, prices crashes 20 rupees, like 2 rupees per kg. Farmer gets less money when he works harder. Bad harvest, prices rise, but farmer has nothing to sell. Oh my god. Win-win situation never happens for the farmer. I'm feeling so bad for them. This is called Cobb-Webb theorem. Agricultural price cycles. High price this year, all farmers grow that crop. Oversupply next year, price crashes, goes round and round like Cobb-Webb. What is a Cobb-Webb? But yeah, I get it. Problem 2 is input cost rising. So seeds are privatized, expensive. Why are seeds privatized then? If so much of our farmers are poor and like 45% of our workforce is in agriculture, then why are seeds privatized? Fertilizers subsidized but still costly. Pesticides needed more as pests evolve. अच्छा pests evolve भी करते हैं. Diesel fuel prices are rising for transport. Labor Magnrega raised wages, good for workers, costly for farmers. But जो farmers workers रख पा रहे हैं aren't they like already better position than those workers? Anyways, all inputs expensive, profit margin squeezed. Problem 3 is middleman exploitation. Farmers sells tomatoes at 5 rupees per kg. You buy tomatoes at 40 rupees per kg. Acha, they sell at 5 rupees per kg. Is it like a real example? Where does the rupees 35 go? Village trader, Arhatia, rupees 8, transport 7 rupees, Mandi commission agent rupees 5, wholesaler, wholesale trader rupees 8, retailer rupees 7. Who's retailer though? Farmer gets 12% of final price. That's bad. That's very bad. This middleman chain is why both farmers and consumers suffer. ये तो मतलब can be reduced through like apps and all that. No, I think here's Zomato and all like such apps can do so much better. Farmers gets too little, goes into debt. Uh-oh. Consumer pays too much, food inflation. Middleman captures all value. Farm laws 2020 tried to fix this. Massive protests repealed. Repealed क्या होता है? मतलब फिर फार्म लॉज हटा दिए गए, वो जो अभी मोदी सरकार फार्म लॉज लाई थी जिस पे किसानों ने आंदोलन किया था, ये वही वाले लॉज है क्या? They were trying to fix this, then why did they protest? Most controversial agricultural policy in recent Indian history. I want to read more about this. Okay, so problem 4 is credit at exploitative rates. Formal bank loan is 7% interest. Credit at exploitative rates. Formal bank loan is 7% interest, but farmers need quick cash for seeds. Okay, so farmers need quick cash for seeds. Bank process takes weeks. Needs collateral. Farmers has no collateral. Land rights unclear. Goes to money lender at 24 to 36% interest. One bad crop, debt doubles. Debt trap. Farmer suicide. Farmer suicides, the human cost. 1 lakh plus farmers suicides since 1995. Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka worst affected. Debt plus crop failure plus family pressure equals tragedy. This is structural failure of credit system plus price system plus insurance system together. इसमें गवर्नमेंट की गलती है ना कि इनकी एक्चुअली इट्स अ गवर्नमेंट फेलियर. Anyways, part 4 MSP, the most important farm policy. What is MSP? Minimum support price. Government announces minimum price for crops. If market price falls below MSP, government buys crops at MSP, protects farmer from price crash. Currently, MSP announced for 23 crops, most important wheat, rice, pulses, oilseed. How MSP is calculated? A2 cost, actual paid out costs like seeds, fertilizer, laborers hired, A2 plus FL, A2 plus unpaid family labor. C2 is comprehensive cost including land rent, capital interest. Swaminathan Commission 2006 recommended MSP equals C2 cost plus 50% profit margin. Government now claims it does this, but farmer dispute calculation. Okay, because government is obviously corrupt. Corrupt politicians everywhere. The MSP problem. MSP sounds great. Why do farmers still protest? MSP announced for 23 crops, but government actually procures mainly wheat and rice. Other 21 crops, no real buyer at MSP. Farmer grows pulses, market price crashes, government doesn't buy. Why doesn't government buy? MSP exists on paper, useless in practice, but government क्यों नहीं कर रही है buy? Also, only Punjab and Haryana farmers benefit from procurement system. Bihar, UP, MP farmers no procurement system. ये procurement system क्या होता है? Same MSP, different, completely different ground realities. Farmers' main demand: legal guarantee of MSP. Currently, MSP is administrative announcement, not legal right. If government doesn't buy, farmer has no legal recourse. This was central demand of 2020 to 21 farmer protests. ये एकदम सही डिमांड है. आई वंडर मतलब अभी इसका क्या स्टेटस है. खैर, पार्ट 5 इज एग्रीकल्चरल फाइनेंस. किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड KCC, शॉर्ट टर्म क्रेडिट फॉर फार्मर्स एट 4%. Kisan credit card, short term credit for farmers at 4% interest, subsidized for buying seeds, fertilizer, pesticides, 7 crore plus KCC holders. डायरेक्ट एग्ज़ाम फैक्ट. तो इससे सुसाइड्स कम हुई. आई गेस शायद हुई हैं क्योंकि एटलीस्ट न्यूज़ में कम दिख रही हैं, बट न्यूज़ डजेंट कवर एनीथिंग एट ऑल. आई डोंट लाइक आवर मीडिया. NABARD. What is this? NABARD. This is reminding you of NABARD. Sorry. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So, APAC's Development Bank for Agriculture and Rural India. What is APAC's? Refinances rural banks, gives them money to lend to farmers. Funds rural infrastructure regulated by RBI. NABARD is not equal to RBI but works closely with RBI. Priority sector lending. Okay. So this is a bank that like refinances rural banks, and then rural banks give loan to those farmers. Priority sector lending. Remember day 6, banks must give 40% loans to priority sector. Agriculture gets 18% of bank credit mandatorily. What if they don't reach that target every time? What happens? Let's see part 6, key agricultural schemes. So PM Kisan, what it does, 6,000 rupees per year direct cash to farmers. But 6,000 पर महीने से क्या होता है? 1,000 रुपये 2 महीने के, राइट? उन को 12 महीने होते हैं ना. 60,000 डिवाइडेड बाई 12 5, हाँ तो 500 रुपये पर महीने. सही. बट 500 रुपये पर महीने से क्या होता है? कुछ भी तो नहीं है 500 रुपये पर महीने. PMFBY, क्रॉप इंश्योरेंस एट सब्सिडाइज्ड प्रीमियम. crop insurance at subsidized premium. ENAM Online national agricultural market connects farmer to buyers directly. This is good, but ये बिल्कुल पॉपुलर नहीं है तो क्या फ़ायदा. Soil health card tests soils, tells farmers exactly what nutrition's needed. PM Krishi Sinchai. What? सिंचाई. अच्छा सिंचाई. सिंचाई. इरिगेशन एक्सपेंशन. हर खेत को पानी. कितना हो गया फिर ये. Enam is most important for us is digital solution to middleman problem. Farmers lists produce online, buyers across India bid, best price wins, reduce middleman, farmer gets more, consumer pays less, technology solving structural problems. That's great. That's great. Bidding was nice. Okay, so part 7, agriculture and macroeconomy connection. This is why RBI watches monsoon carefully. Poor monsoon, crop failure, food supply falls, food prices spike, CPI inflation rises. Day 4, rural income falls, rural consumption falls. FMCG companies, tractor companies, rural banks all suffer. GDP growth slows, government spends more on relief, fiscal deficit rises. RBI can't cut rates because inflation high. Okay, to caught in stagflation like situation. Inflation high, growth slow. Stagflation like situation. Yes. One bad monsoon affects everything simultaneously. That's why monsoon forecast is front page news और मुझे लगता था इसकी कोई importance ही नहीं है. That's why MPC members watch IMD meteorological department forecasts. अच्छा, okay, that's nice. Agriculture equals foundation of entire Indian macroeconomy. Wow, okay. So 3 questions, answer in chat. Let's do it. A farmer in Maharashtra grows onions. This year, everyone grew onions. Massive supply, prices crashed from 30 rupees to 3 rupees per kg. His production cost was 15 rupees per kg. Government MSP is 12 rupees per kg, but nobody is procuring. What is procuring? Trace everything that happens next to this farmer, economically and humanly. So farmer is going to be in loss even if government buys the production at MSP price. Still the farmer would have to bear the cost, the loss. So economically it's a bad situation for the farmer. And nobody is procuring. So does that mean that the government is not even buying? That would be like disastrous because the farmer would not have any yield and might even fall to like debt and then like in that debt trap, and that's very distressing. This is concerning. I don't know what else to say to this. Okay, so I am concerned about the farmer suicides as well, but I don't know. So question number 2 is 2 solutions proposed for farmer income crisis. Option A, increase MSP by 50% and make it legally binding. And option B is invest in Enam, cold storage, rural roads to eliminate middlemen. Which would you recommend and why? Consider both short term and long term effects. I think I would go for option B because option A only works like short term. Actually, it's if it's like legally binding it and it becomes a law, then even option A can have long term effects. So long term option B is better than option A to me, and short term option A is better than option B. And if I had to just choose one, then I'm going to choose option B. Okay, so question number 3 is RBI is monitoring monsoon forecast before its MPC meetings. IMD predicts 20% below normal rainfall this year. As an MPC member, how does this single piece of information affect your thinking on inflation, growth, and your rate decision? Connect all the dots. Okay, so if the rainfall is going to be like 20% below, then farmers are going to suffer because about half of our land, agricultural land, has no irrigation system and they depend on monsoon completely. So this is going to lead to like food inflation and then overall inflation, and this is supply side inflation, so RBI can't do much about it with like rate decisions, and growth is going to slow down because farmers are not going to earn so much and they are not going to spend so much. So rural population is going to suffer, their growth would slow down and banks would suffer. About the rate decision, I don't know if like as an MPC member we can do anything about supply side inflation, but we can like try importing food, and we are going to like prioritize inflation over growth, of course. Yes, that's all that's coming to my mind right now. Hmm. Okay, so question number 1 correct. Procuring होता है गवर्नमेंट फिजिकली बाइंग द क्रॉप एट MSP प्राइस. ओके, सो प्रोक्योरिंग का ये इंग्लिश लिटरेचर मतलब वोकेबलरी में यही मतलब होता है, या फिर इज इट लाइक एन इंडियन टर्म बीइंग यूज्ड? प्रोक्योरिंग का कोई वोकैब में भी तो मतलब होता होगा ना MSP से ऊपर. MSP तो एक मतलब हमने बनाई टर्म, बनाई है टर्म. procuring sounds like an English term. चलो बाद में देखेंगे. तो procuring is government physically buying the crop at MSP price. Food Corporation of India FCI sends agents to mandis. They buy wheat or rice at MSP, store in warehouses, distribute through PDS. क्या होता है? But for onions, no procurement infrastructure exists. You got the core right. Let me complete the full tragic chain. Farmer sells at 3 rupees per kg market price. Production cost is 15 rupees per kg. Loss is 12 rupees per kg. If he grew 1000 kg onions, then revenue is 3000, cost is 15,000, and loss is 12,000. He borrowed 15,000 from moneylender at 30% interest. Now owes 15,000 plus 4,500 interest. Now 19,500. Has only 3,000. Shortfall 16,500. Next season needs money for seeds again. Borrow more. Debt compound. One more bad season. Debt equals more than lifetime earnings. Debt trap complete. Humanly, family skips meals. Children pulled from school. Wife sells jewelry. Farmer feels shame, failure, and hopelessness. Why failure? That's not their fault. Suicide risk rises dramatically. That's sad. This exact story happened in Maharashtra in 2019. Onion prices crashed to 1 rupees per kg. One farmer received government check for his entire harvest, 1.64, 1 rupee 64 paise. What? He framed it and sent it to Chief Minister as protest. That image went viral, showed broken system perfectly. Oh my god. मतलब ये वायरल भी कैसे हुआ? गवर्नमेंट तो इतनी बड़ी बड़ी चीज़ें मतलब दबा देती हैं एंड ये वायरल हो गया अपने आप में बड़ी बात है. बट व्हाट द हेल 2019, इट्स सो रिसेंट. ओ माय गॉड. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, MSP वर्सेस ई नाम. वैसे ये वायरल भी हुआ, सो मुझे इसके बारे में अब तक पता क्यों नहीं था? इट वॉज नॉट वायरल इनफ. Question number 2 is MSP versus ENAM. Correct, sophisticated reasoning. You independently identified option A, better short term, better long term. If forced to choose option B, that's exactly what most development economists recommend. Here's the full reasoning. Option A, problems even with legal guarantee. MSP at 50% higher, government must buy more, massive fiscal burden. Only wheat or rice procurement infrastructure exists. Other crops still unprotected. Doesn't fix middleman problem. Doesn't fix price volatility. ये middleman problem तो fix हो गई ना गवर्नमेंट में buy करके फिर क्यों गवर्नमेंट middlemen को बेचेगी. Doesn't fix price volatility. वो क्या होता है? How does it not fix price volatility? अच्छा मतलब लॉन्ग टर्म मतलब ये होता रहेगा क्रॉप डिस्ट्रक्शन मानसून एंड ऑल दैट. ट्रीट्स सिम्टम्स नॉट डिजीज. Option B is the option B benefits. ENAM farmer lists produce online. National buyers compete. Farmer gets market price, not middleman price. Cold storage, farmers hold produce when price is low. Sells when prices recover, like any business. That's nice. Rural पर खाने की चीज़ें तो ख़राब हो जाती है ना. So rural roads produce reaches markets without spoiling. Fixes the system, not just the price. Best exam answer both together. Short term option A, immediate relief, legally binding MSP. Long term option B, structural fix. One without other is incomplete. This is called two-track approach in policy. So question number 3, monsoon plus MPC decision. In your perfect phase to quality answer, you hit every single point. 48% land rain dependent, food inflation, overall inflation, supply side RBI can't fix with rates, rural income falls, growth slows, banks suffer, prioritize inflation over growth, import food as solution. One thing to add, your full MPC what upgraded. Okay, so 20% below normal rainfall. What 20% below normal rainfall. I want hold rates. Reasoning: inflation will rise, but its supply side. Raising rates won't grow crops, won't fix food prices. Raising rates will further hurt rural borrowers. Worse crisis. Growth will slow, but cutting rates won't make it rain. Cutting rates risks rupee weakening, imports expensive, food imports become costlier. ये तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं. Inflation worse. Best response is hold rates. Monetary policy is helpless here. Government should release buffer stocks from FCI immediately. Import pulses, edible oils, duty free. Activate MGNREGA aggressively for rural income. Expedite PM FBY insurance claims. Oh, okay. मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी के नॉट सॉल्व मानसून फेलियर. इतना सब कुछ मुझे एक्चुअली याद ही नहीं था कि ये इंश्योरेंस भी है, मनरेगा भी है, मुझे याद ही नहीं था. मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी के नॉट सॉल्व मानसून फेलियर. Fiscal policy and supply management must lead here. Okay, monetary policy cannot solve monsoon failure. Write this exact line in your phase 2 essay and watch the examiner smile. Day 12 done. New terms unlocked today are MSP, minimum supply support price, government's price guarantee, procurement, government's physically buying crops at MSP, COVAB theorem, agricultural price cycles, boom burst pattern, NABARD, apex banks for agriculture and rural development. Apex नहीं पता. KCC किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड, cheap farm credit. ENAM is online national market, connects farmers to buyers. directly. FCI is Food Corporation of India, stores and distributes food grains. Fragmentation is farmland divided across generation, too small to be viable. Day 12 done, 12 topics in actual study days. Tomorrow, day 13, international trade and balance of payments, export, imports, current account deficit, foreign exchange, why India buys more than it sells globally, and what means for rupee inflation and RBI's job. What that means for rupee inflation and RBI's job. Okay, so see you tomorrow.